is Chief of Communication for UNICEF. She joins me now for more on what's being done to help Syria. Eva, of course, the situation in northern Syria was already dire because of the civil war. Talk to me about the situation right now and what UNICEF teams are doing.
You're absolutely right. The situation was very dire for the children already before the earthquake on Monday happened. This is a country that's been ravaged by a conflict for nearly 12 years now. Children have been displaced numerous times during these years. The deepening economic crisis is making their and their families' lives very difficult. And in addition to that, the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as the recent cholera outbreak, that really made children's lives very difficult. And now this additional layer making their lives even worse. So the situation is very dire. And what we are seeing on the ground are families and children in collective shelters, families who had to leave their homes in the middle of the night and who are not able to return. So they are in a place where they desperately need support in many ways. It's important to provide them with clean and safe water to make sure that they don't get sick, and we try to minimize the risk of waterborne diseases. Similarly, these are children that are scared and traumatized. So important also to provide psychosocial support so that they get support to start grappling with the trauma that they are going through. These are some of the examples on the work that we are doing on the ground. And of course, more efforts are needed as the days go by.
Eva, is the actual aid, blankets, food, water, generators, equipment that's needed to clear the rubble, as far as you know, is that getting to people who need it the most? Is it getting to the rescue teams on the ground? Is it getting to the families who've lost their homes, the children who've lost their parents? Is the aid actually getting through?
We are seeing it's going through. We've seen the aid trucks go in, and we are working very closely with our partners on the ground to make sure that we reach as many children in need as possible.
And talk about the emotional trauma. I mean, you know, these children have a long ways to go, especially if they've lost their school, if they've lost their home, if they've lost their loved one. Is that a long-term plan for these kids, or is there anything that could be done right now to help them?
It definitely is a long journey to help these children. We were estimated before Monday's earthquake that in Syria a record high 7 million children need humanitarian assistance this year. That means support in many ways. Helping them to get a chance to go to school and learn, provide them with health services, good nutrition, clean water. So all of these needs were high already before the quake on Monday, and now the needs are even increasing, and it will take a long time to provide all of these children support. What we are doing now in the early stages after the earthquake is providing emergency psychosocial support so that they can start coming to terms of the impact of the earthquake, and because it was of course very traumatic to have to flee their homes and houses in the middle of the night, and some were also separated from their loved ones. So yeah, it was a very scary situation.
Yeah, in the middle of the night, and you know, in freezing cold temperatures. Eva, what is your message to the international community? UN Secretary General Gutierrez said this issue should not be politicized and the world needs to come together to help Syrians who are suffering. What is your message to all these 90 countries? I think our reporter said some 90 countries involved in the rescue and relief operation in Turkey. What is your message to them in terms of help and aid and support for Syria?
My message is that this is very much about children. They desperately need help, and if there's ever been a day when they need it the most, it's definitely today. So whatever support can be provided, it's desperately needed, and it's critical that it's channeled to the children now.
All right, Eva Hinds, thank you very much.